Shalom, to the 144,000, the elect. For I get started and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rekah Pudash, the one to the apostle nails, great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, have mercy upon you. Alright, y'all tried it earlier, man. To play this video here. For some reason, they didn't want to play it for me. And we'll see if they're gonna do it this time. But I literally looked up Big Keesha at Times Square, and what happened. And this what popped up. I didn't look up 12-foot statue of black woman unveiled in Times Square. I looked up Big Keesha in Times Square, and this is what they give me. You're talking about mockery at its best. Let's hear it out. They did it again. I mean, they actually did it again. Let me click on it, y'all.
And a striking new 12-foot tall statue of a black woman has been unveiled in Times Square, standing in stark contrast to the area's historic statues of white men, symbolizing diversity and empowerment in New York's public art scene. The powerful installation aims to spark conversations about representation and inclusion in public spaces.
What you got? A bunch of Big Keesha. They keep clicking off of it. Every time I try to click, they click off of it. Let's click on it again. A bunch of Keesha. I'm just gonna let it play. I'm just gonna let it play.
And a striking new 12-foot tall statue of a black woman has been unveiled in Times Square, standing in stark contrast to the area's historic statues of white men, symbolizing diversity and empowerment in New York's public art scene. The powerful installation aims to spark conversations about representation and inclusion in public spaces. And a striking new 12-foot tall statue of a black...
Let's read some comments, man. This shit is ridiculous. You know, this is why our sisters act. Most of our sisters, I'm gonna say most of our sisters act out and act in a way that they do, and even glorify being obese. You know, the strong black woman in her obesity, masculinity. Look at the hands on the hips. That's masculinity, y'all. You know, this shit should be insulting to y'all, man. Bad representation of any woman. Any woman, I don't care who it is. Overweight, what? You know, where's her husband? Where's her children? Why she can't be a family oriented? That'll been a so-called white woman that they put in there. They put what? They put a man with her. I mean, representing family. Why you gotta just stick the sister out there by herself? You know, your perceived attitude, hands on the hip, attitude. That's why you the least desired, man. And Esau knows what to do to make you all stay in that obese single black woman. You know, Big Keesha being over everything, and Big Keesha this, Big Keesha that. It's ridiculous. Let's read some of these comments. The other white men statues are people who did things. See that? Who did things. If you want to honor black women, there's plenty of historic options, not just, I guess it means some random lady. So, hey, he makes a great point. And you got, what do you say? This fits their whole culture, and people perfectly want everything for nothing. There it is. Now the comment section is off the chain, y'all. This fits their whole culture, and people perfectly want everything for nothing. That group singing "Lean on Me" doesn't know they should be what? Offended. Yeah, you should be offended. You should be damn offended. Look at it, man. Look at her big ass sitting there with her hand on her hip, man. Obesity. With them damn braids down to her head. Why she couldn't have an afro? Shit, go with the old 50s and 60s, the fists in the air with an afro. Shit. I mean, all of it is ignorant anyway. But I mean, you would prefer that than having some obese woman with her hands on her hip with an attitude. Please stop this. It is so disrespectful to black people. To be honest, I hope my post is seen, not shadow ban truth. Yeah, that's Kevin to my see. This is Kevin, you part of the problem. You know why you part of the problem? Because you ain't calling out what it is. This ain't got shit to do with no so-called black man. And he say, please stop this. So disrespectful to black people. See, they're not singling out black people as a whole. They are what? They are talking about Big Keesha, the so-called black woman. It's just like when they be having these shows, instead of them saying a black woman, a black woman, a black woman, a black woman, they say what? They'll say black people. We need to stop. Ain't no damn black people need to stop. Big Keesha, the so-called black woman, needs to stop. Let me see. He got 4 replies. What the statue? I don't really care about it. People who feel the need to want diversity of empowerment are just people who have no control over their lives. Wow. Is this statue not disrespectful to all other black people who actually achieve something great? See how he's pushing the narrative. Stop pushing the narrative from what it really is. The narrative is talking about a so-called black woman. See, man, Eve, hey, man, this shit is displayed every day, all day on the internet, man. These black women, man, with all this attitude, this is why they act the way they act, because of a representation of shit like this here. This is why they act the way they act. No, it's not. I agree. A little to what you are adding, but it's just an embarrassment saying it's for black representation, like they need to be seen as something higher. Like I said, people who have no control. And I mean, his point is that people have no control, meaning Eve, have no self-control. This is why the scriptures speak about do not let your daughter, roughly paraphrasing, gat abroad. And that word gat goes into like running the streets. Because when you give a woman too much freedom, this is what you get. Look at how they display themselves on the internet. You can't see her Eve without her showing her ass and shaking her ass. They only like that's the only dance that they can do nowadays. It's shaking their ass. Back when we was coming up, right? It was a thing to make up dances and make dances, but now there's only one dance for the sister, man. It's shaking their ass. Who his name is? Dirty Marco says, most bizarre, unnecessary statue ever. Laughing my ass off. Yikes. Please get rid of it. Yeah, they should tear shit down. Why? And the artist thinks it has vibes like the statue of... See, they be paying your people. Just like they paying these these black women in Times Square singing some damn Lean on Me. They pay these people to do these things, because other than that, they wouldn't be doing this. Huh? The so-called white man, he's brilliant in his deceitful ways, and he's gonna continue to. That's his gift, being able to deceive people, and mainly who? Eve. The so-called white man can look in a so-called black woman's face and just tell her a bunch of lies, and she know he lying, and she gonna roll right along with him. Right along with him. Tell me you are full of yourself without saying it. For one's too proud as hell. Who is more proud than Eve? Well, we say so-called white man. They both proud as hell. You can't talk about one without what? Talking about the other one. And I know a lot of y'all get offended when I say that, but hell, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's literally the truth. The scriptures don't lie. Tell me you are full of yourself without saying it. For one, two very different medium to work with what? Bronze is much easier to work than marble. Let's read a couple more. Let's see what it say. This statue is a slap in the face to every hard-working black American. See that? See what I'm talking about? Black American. No, man. Single this shit out the way it's supposed to be. Me ain't talking about black women. Always trying to push the narrative and talking about black Americans and black Americans this. No, it's not. Let's talk about the sisters. Talk about them. And if you're getting offended by my tone, and I'm gonna offend anyone, just turn the damn TV, man. Because, this is not for kids anyway. The scriptures, that's why I love Ecclesiastes 19:16. There's one that slippeth in his speech, meaning make a mistake, but it's not a mistake right here, but not from what? His heart. And who is he that has what? Not offended with his tongue. So a lot of you all get offended when I'm preaching the Bible, because the Bible is what? It's you have to change. In order for you to come into this truth, you have to change. And none of these religions require you to what? To change. None of these man-made religions require you to change. Only when you come under the what? Or this truth, which is in your how about Shimmy How Shot, not no damn JC. This statue is a slap in the face for every hard-working black American, everyone that gets up off their ass and goes to work every day and actually earns their pay, takes care of their family, and just a bunch of Jake. Just shut up. Stop pushing this shit, pushing the narrative. We talking about Big Keesha. Keep it on Big Keesha. That statue looks like Shaquita from around the way. Wait, where's the three kids from Three Daddies statue? That's a good one now. Take a picture of yourself and place it next to the statue, because you are probably one of them. That's right, man. What stupid response have nothing better? That's right. Take a picture of yourself and look at it. Is this statue meant to the comments are off the chain, man. Is this statue meant to commemorate every TSA agent I've ever met? All Big Keesha, y'all. TSA agents, I guess, huh? Wow. The Lean on Me song took me out. For real. Like a brother, yeah. This statue is not what God inspires you to be. Stop glorifying self. Stop trying to become acquainted with the shame that a life without God has brought. Okay. Whatever. Now, let me show you something, right? This is something that the so-called white men been doing to start with our women for a long time, right? And these things have look at this here. I don't know. When I was coming up, the Muppet shows was very something that we used to watch all the time, the Muppet Show. And let's go to Miss Piggy, right? Who do Miss Piggy? Let's go to Miss Piggy, y'all. Let me turn that thing a little bit here. Look at Miss Piggy, y'all. Who does that look like? You know, they've been doing this here for a long time, y'all. Been doing this for a long time. When I mean a long time, I mean they've been programming our women to look at it. Let me get her face around here. This is Miss Piggy and Kermit sing in spite of ourselves, the Muppets.
Oh, she don't like her eggs all runny.
Who that look like, y'all? Who that look like? Who did most of that look like? Blonde ass wig, long ass eyelashes, overweight. Who that look like? It's not that most of the big Keeshas in the hood. Yes. I don't care about you getting offended or getting upset. But this is the damn truth. You all need to stop this shit, man.
She thinks the crossing her legs is funny. She looks down her nose at money. She makes a face when my jokes are funny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. I'm never gonna let her go. Oh, he can't.
I'm not gonna get them copyright. Let's go here. Look at this here. One more.
Make
y'all.
your browser fast.
1 second, y'all. One more. Just trying to get some shame in here. Because the thing is, is that, you know, bring back shame. Oh, shit. Hold up, y'all. I think I went too far.
That brings back.
I done went too far, y'all. I done clicked on. What the hell? Let me click back. Here we go.
Look, an omelet station. Oh, where? There's only one Miss Piggy, and she is moi. Yeah.
Who is that, y'all? Who that look like? That look like Eve in the hood, man. Look at them long eyelashes. Now our women look like this here. This used to be a joke in appearance or whatever. But look at her now. This big Keesha right here. Right? I don't think missing is the blonde wig, but hey, they wear blonde. It ain't just blonde no more. It's pink, purple, green, you name it. They have all colors of wig, but the main wig that they wear is blonde. Madness. And I'm gonna leave that there. Hope it let's get into the scriptures. I don't know how far I'm gonna go. I'm gonna read a little. I'm gonna start over here in you know, that's the thing. You know, Eve proud as hell. That's the most important thing. Eve is proud as hell. Okay, Isaiah 3:16. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh saith, because the daughter of Zion are haughty. That word haughty means what? Proud. This is why, and she arrogant as hell. This is why she, because she has no shame, and she'll what? She'll wear and look just like this here, like it's what? It's appealing to men. You know, men have been telling you all for the longest that this is not what they like. But you all do this for each other. You don't do this for men. You do it for each other. And the most ignorant thing I've seen a lot of women do. You know, a woman will pay $900 for a damn outfit or even more, and then might wear it maybe once or maybe twice, and won't wear it no more. And say, I'm not wearing it anymore. I don't wear it. That's old. Like they rich. See, this is what we have become. You know, in the days when we was rulers of the earth, you know, we had material possessions and a lot of things, and you know, money, because we had it. But you know, we're in captivity. This see in Esau's captivity, Eve is being what? Uplifted. Why? Because Eve is being It's being used for a purpose. And that purpose is what? It's destroying the homes of what? Of so-called black people. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh saith unto, well, even the northern kingdom too, but I'm singing out so-called black people because why? Because we are what? We're Judah. And we're the head tribe of all the tribes. So the tribes follow what? Judah, man. Men and women. Jake don't get a pass. Walking around here with his pants hanging off his ass all day long. I've seen niggas 50 years old, man, sagging and disgusting. Moreover, the Lord Yahweh saith, because the daughter of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanting eyes. And wanting eyes goes into them being what? Undisciplined. Undisciplined head, you can speak to them. They head up and like you a peasant or something. And they ain't got shit. Walk with wanting eyes, walking and menacing as they go, and making a tingling with their feet. They damn jewelry. And 9 times out of 10, they got what? Fake jewelry. What they call that shit they wear? Got a name for it. What is it called? Damn. Damn, I was on here. I just had it. Cosmetic. What is it? Costume jewelry. And they still put it on. The word costume. Costume mean what? You know what? Let's look costume up. Definition of costume.
Here's the definition of costume. A set of clothes in a style typical of a particular country or historical period.
No, let's see something. Not what I wanted. A set of clothes in a style typical or a particular country, historical. That's not what I wanted. Outfit. Yeah, let's click on some of these here. An outfit, right? Clothing, dress, attire, uniform. Meaning, in other words, a costume. You know what they got? Yeah, that's it. A costume. That's just like when they make up their face and they put on makeup and all that. That's witchcraft. That is actually witchcraft. What is it? Let's see something. Dress someone in a particular set of clothes. The dolls are elaborately costume. In other words, look at Miss Piggy. That's a costume. This is how we our women dresses, and it's disgusting, man. What does a costume refers to? Let's see something. Costume is a what? Distinctive style of dress and or makeup of an individual or group that reflects class, gender, occupation, ethnicity, nationality, activity, or speech. In short, culture, actors in what? Costume, actor, what? See, they planned this very well, and it worked. And it's still working. Most of these Eves are not going to come out of it because why? Because they are comfortable as hell over here in the kingdom. But we see now that they're making videos. I just seen a video the brother that made I'm around a bar made a video of the woman said that she'll work for free. A black woman. And you have never, that pride is being brought low. Why is the pride of this Eve being brought low? Because now she sees the what? She sees the, what that is, Isaiah 4:1. 7 women should take hold of one man. It's going to be during this time. You are going to need a covering in these times because there in the time that we are coming up on with the Jacob trouble, hell is going to break loose right here on earth, man. This is where hell is. Hell is under the sun, which is what? Earth. wanting eyes, meaning being undisciplined, walking and menacing as they go, and making a tingling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will what? Will smite with a scab, and that scab goes into what? This is why most of these Eve are bald, because it's a curse. This is why you know too that we're the children of Israel. The other nationality of women don't have problems with the them having bald heads. Only Eve had these in them. And especially with the what? The head tribe of Judah, which is a so-called black woman. She's the one. Because they are the ones that what? That most of these women follow. Just like these so-called black men. These jakes, these other nations follow them. They both play their pivotal role in what? In destroying our home. But Eve plays the major role because Eve is uplifted in this kingdom. The so-called black man is brought low. And he's what? He's feminized. He's effeminate. Most of them. They want them to be what? Weak. Therefore the Lord will smite thee with a scab, the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord Yahweh will discover their what? Their secret parts. Meaning their fake hair and nails. And these are the times that we are coming up on that you all are going to be exposed in that manner, and your material possessions are not going to be able to hide your what? Your ugliness. Meaning your bald head and your and being what? Overweight. Your obesity. But a lot of you are going to lose weight in these times because you're not going to be eating like you have been eating over here. Damn, there's some water. Over here in Babylon. Because America, one thing about America is going to always push the narrative and Eve being what? Being masculine. Being what? Being proud as hell. Verse 18 of Isaiah 3 and 18. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery. And every bravery is what? Her material possessions. Her makeup. Of their what? Their tinkling ornaments about their feet, in their calls. And what call goes into what? Like a cap. Them damn bonnets. To be more on point to what I'm saying. Calls with CAUL calls in their what? Their round tires like the moon. There you go. That's hats. Those are hats. The chain. Let me see. Let's go down. Let's see. Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And most these sisters already have what? Don't smell too well down there, right? And especially in the time that we are coming in now, where most of them are getting these BBLs, and they're talking about what? The smell. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Hey man, the scriptures don't lie. The scriptures does not lie. And instead of a girdle or rent, meaning what? You being overweight. It's not most of our sisters, at least about 75% or better, it's overweight. Yes. A girdle of sackcloth. Let me see. Let me read that again. And instead of a stomach, no. And instead of a girdle, a rent, meaning being overweight. And instead of well set hair, baldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. And that burning goes into what? Ugly. This is why they feel the way they feel, because they're what? They are they're not to themselves. They're not appealing. Why is that? Because they don't like themselves. You tell her Eve you don't like yourself. She gonna get an attitude, go to cussing and go to talking shit. But I mean, in reality, you don't. You don't. If I every day that I wanted to go somewhere or whatever, and I put a wig on my head and put some blonde hair on my head and trying to look like a so-called white man, we look like fools. But you all don't just not perceive yourself looking like fools because why? Because you're proud as hell and you thinking that you thinking that's the essence of beauty, trying to look like the so-called white woman. But you all get an attitude, big time attitude, when the so-called white woman trying to wear afro. You get offended. Why? Why are you getting offended when every day you all dressing and trying to look like them? Hey man, it is what it is. But we're coming up on the time of what? Of what they did, Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. It's gonna happen. You know why it's gonna happen? Because Eve is gonna be what? She's going to gonna need a covering, and her covering in her head is what? Is a man. And Eve outnumbered Jake, so-called black man. We outnumbered. Our women gonna always outnumber us because why? Women was made for men. This is why a man is able to have more than one wife. And not even just one more than one wife. I mean, he can have wives outside of the nation of the women, the so-called black woman, but she can't be on the same level of a so-called black woman. She'll be considered to be a concubine. Yeah, we're headed back in those times again. That the men are gonna be what? Back to the rulers of the earth. Your ass is gonna be in the home where you're supposed to be, raising children. You're still gonna live good, but you're gonna live better than what you're living now. You're not gonna have to be fake, and you get your beauty back, get your true beauty, get your hair back, your long, get your hair back. Forever, however long gonna have you looking. That is Isaiah 32 and 11. Tremble ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Script you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your lungs. Yeah, in these coming times of Jacob trouble, sorrow and moaning, you all are going to be praying more than you ever prayed before, because you're going to what? The Heavenly Father is going to put you in a predicament to where you're going to have to search out a man to what? For protection. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines. Yeah, meaning you're going to be moaning and weeping, man. And then teats goes into you being, you're not going to have your government program for free money and nursing for kids. You're going to be what? You're going to be catching hell. And your material possessions are going to be taken from you. So let's see what a woman's is supposed to be. Where I want to go. Ecclesiasticus 26 and verse 13. This is what a wife or a woman, but mainly a wife, because there's no such thing as a girlfriend or all these different terms that they have. Once you lay down with a woman, she becomes your wife. And I know a lot of y'all got a lot of husbands. The grace of, and a lot of men is committing what? Adultery. Because a lot of men are sleeping with other men's women that have laid down with other men. That's how a man commits adultery against, he has to be laying down with another man's woman. This is why we need grace. If we didn't have grace, all of us would be put to death for just that alone. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, in her discretion will what? Will fatten his bones. Meaning what? Her decisions. Decisions. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Meaning a quiet woman. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a what? A double grace. Bring back shame, man. A shamefaced and loving woman and faithful, shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace. In her countenance, mine what cannot be valued. Can't be valued, man. Because why? Because she's in order. First in order because of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Then what? Her husband. When you please your husband, you pleasing the Lord. There ain't no damn happy wife, happy home. That's some shit Esau made to keep you all out of order. And to keep you doing what? Being proud in your proudness and what? In his wicked kingdom. As the sun, when it arises in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house. So when that normal say, call halal Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rokah Kudash, Shalom.